Hello friends and welcome to the Saitama Stacker channel. My name's Dean and I'll be hosting today. Hey, I think this is going to be a fascinating show. So first of all, we're on a wild ride today with Saitama. I got text messages today from people worried that the sky was falling. And I have to remind people, you have to have a why. You have to have a reason that you're investing in projects. Because today, the climate in general was pretty hardcore. You have Shiba Inu that was taking some major downs. Klee was down. I mean, whatever these small projects you're invested in right now, a lot of them were down. The market in general was kind of selling. And Saitama at one point in time was down some too. By the time I got home to do my show prep, it's actually higher than it was when I did my show yesterday. So this is the nature of cryptocurrency investing. With Saitama, I know why I'm investing. Okay, I picked this project for a reason. I believe in the project. It's different. It's a different project. It has a docs development team with a very clear plan and adding new plans all the time. They're the most ambitious group of people that I've seen, in at least in the crypto space. So anyway, interesting show for you today, definitely. If you're brand new to the channel, please know that I only make these videos for entertainment purposes and for community building around the Saitama token. So please do your own research before you invest. I'm also at the very end of the video today going to do a little bit of self-promotion, which will be a first for me. I'm not going to be doing a Patreon. I'm not going to be doing the private YouTube membership. But I am going to do a self-promoting activity. It'll be at the very end after the whole video is done. If you don't want to participate, it's totally fine. But let me know what your thoughts are. If that makes you upset that I'm selling out to the man or whatever it is, I can handle that. Let me know. All right. It will be regarding Coinbase app. Okay. So let's jump into this. All right. Let's start looking at the fundamentals. Okay. So holders today, 174,867. That is an increase of 3,477. So a bit of a slower day for our holders in terms of their increase. You know, we've been averaging 5,400 in the last 7 days. So that's down a little bit. As I said, at one point in time today, Saitama was down by somewhere in the range of like 10 to 15%. But currently, it's actually higher than it was when I did my show yesterday. And if we look at the price, Etherscan is showing it down 2% at a price of 709139. Still a great price, okay? I'm liking this. 7009, that is a strong place to be in. And if we can just build some support here and work from there, that's going to be good for us. And we know there's some potentially big things coming. I mean, one thing for certain we know, the Saitamask launch November 13th. So we're only 9 days away from the development team partying it up in Vegas and releasing details and the launch of Saitamask wallet. Okay. So market cap solid at 4 billion and change, 4,050 million. Again, that price riding a little over 709. The volume is down a little bit today at 82 million, but still strong volume. You know, certainly not the lowest we're seeing on the page. Now, rank still top 50 at 48. The burn ticks up a little bit to 55.69. There's some rounding in there, but that puts our burn speedometer at 56 days to burn 1%. That would be 6.56% annually, and today's token burn was 6,700,000,000,000 tokens. Okay, so that's, it's ticked down. There's this relationship, if you're unfamiliar, and I'm actually going to be talking about this quite a bit today, but there is this relationship between the price and the volume. And if the price holds constant and the volume moves up, the rate burn increases. If price and volume move in lockstep together up, then the burn stays constant. If the price increases faster than the volume, or if the volume decreases and the price stays the same, the burn slows down. Okay, we're going to talk about it. I've got a new spreadsheet that I'm going to be showing you. Hopefully you'll find it fascinating. It's literally just me thinking out loud and trying to understand the mechanics of how this token and its tokenomics, or what's programmed into the token to adjust it and change it, evolve it over time, tokenomics, how those function. So we will get into that. Okay. I want to touch just real quick on Bitmart. Okay. So yesterday I did a tutorial video. I'm trying to understand these centralized exchanges and how they work. I put $110 into Bitmart cash and then bought Saitama. To get there, the cheapest route was to buy Bitcoin, and I lost about $9 in that transaction. But once I had the Bitcoin, I could swap it for USDT, and USDT, the US dollar stable token, is paired on Bitmart with Saitama. So you have to have USDT to buy Saitama. Okay, so I switched my Bitcoin for USDT, then I switched the USDT for Saitama, and with $110, I ended up with $97.70. And last night, it might have been slightly higher than that, $99-ish. So it cost me about $10 to get into Saitama. Now, there's lots of comments. There are positives and negatives to the DeFi space and to the centralized exchange space. Okay, one thing that I was crazy impressed with in Bitmart, or this centralized exchange world, is when you place a transaction, it happens immediately. It's just like snap and boom. USDT, Saitama, done. Okay, and the reason for that is they're not actually out in the exchange world doing that. They have liquidity inside their exchange where they've essentially taken USDT and an equal amount dollar value of Saitama, and people are able just to swap inside the exchange without going into the DeFi space. And it happens instantaneously. So I was thinking, if I were somebody who was a trader and I were trying to catch the highs and lows, which I don't really do. I've never sold any Saitama that I've bought up to this point. Not a single coin, actually. It's, I believe in the project long term, but if I were interested in trading it and trying to catch the highs and lows, if you think you're, that person, then this would be an amazing way to do it, because it literally is just a matter of, if I go in here to the trade screen, let's see if this will pull here for me. Okay, so we're going to go into the trade screen, and it shows my Saitama balance. All I literally have to do is say, okay, I want 100% of it. I want to sell it, and it will automatically flip to this USDT. Okay, and the USDT is a stable token, so it's not volatile going up and down. So if a person were playing this game, they, and you were somehow had a crystal ball and could have sold at 7094, you could have bought it back at 708 and then sold it again or held it until now, and you would have effectively increased your token count by about 10%. Okay, it's not the way that I play the game, but I did like the ability to do it very quickly. It took me a minute to get in there and get everything set up, but now that it's set up, trading in and out of it, piece of cake, and extraordinarily low fees. Okay, to make this switch from Saitama to USDT and then back again, it's not going to be very expensive. There's still a lot of things I don't know. I don't know how to get money from there back to my bank. Okay, those are things I'll have to learn with time. But in general, I thought it was a pleasant experience, and I can tell you this. People are talking about there's no reflections, and as the best of my knowledge, in Bitmart, there are not. In LBank, there are reflections, but to put $100 in right now through Uniswap would, if I got a great price for it, would cost me $40 in gas fees or in mining fees. So that would be if I got a great price. The fees are very frustrating. That'd be a good word for it in the DeFi exchanges right now. So that's something they're going to have to fix over time. But yes, in the DeFi exchanges, there are reflections, okay? So it just depends on kind of what you're trying to accomplish, how long you think you're going to be holding. But if people are discouraged by the fees, these centralized exchanges, not a bad way to go. If I were a trader trying to time this thing, I would go to these centralized exchanges as well. All right, let's take a really quick look at some thoughts I had on the burn, okay? So I previously made a video on how we can calculate the rate of speed of the burn. And out of that video, I actually derived my burn speedometer, which I'm now showing in the fundamentals. But there was something very intriguing in a Steve at Rocket Crypto video. So Steve talked about the fact that in the Saitamask wallet, all of the tokens listed in the Saitamask wallet, if you want to put your token in our exchange, it pairs with Saitama. Okay? So effectively, to switch from whatever coin is listed, let's say it's USDT, let's say it's Bitcoin, let's say it's Ethereum, it pairs with Saitama. So to trade back and forth in those, you have to have Saitama as part of the equation. Now, if the price stays relatively constant, because people moving in and out of something, it doesn't change the price. We have to have more buyers coming into the space than we have people wanting to sell for the price to go up. But if we can hold the price relatively constant and increase the volume by 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, the burn reduces, or the burn speedometer, the rate at which we burn, increases exactly in lockstep proportionate to the increase in volume. So in this calculator, I just basically put in what our market cap is. The burn rate is 2%. This is our current circulating supply of tokens. This is how much is burned, which is essentially just, 1 minus the burn rate times the original tokens is the current circulating supply. But, and then I put in today's volume. And so our price right now is about 709. Well, based on today's volume, our burn rate would be about 54 days to burn 1%, okay? If we double that, it halves the time for us to burn. If we 4x it, you take that, basically that burn speedometer, divide it by 4. I mean, it's moving proportionate to the increase in volume if the price stays constant. So it kind of made me think how powerful the Saitama or the Saitamask wallet might be in helping us to move the burn along. Now, time will tell. These are just assumptions I'm making, but I think this is actually kind of an interesting point. We're going to have anybody who wants to be using the swap using Saitama token. So they'll be increasing, but as they move in and out, that is a buy or a sell. When you transfer from one token to another, effectively you're selling one token to buy another token, okay? So every time they do that, it's going to increase the volume, which is going to increase the rate of speed for the burn. Just food for thought. Steve at Rocket Crypto video. I think it's already linked in the description, but I'll link it in there. Take a look at it, okay? Another fascinating thing that hit today was a tweet by Russell where he says, how do you feel about lighting up every billboard in Times Square in unison to our premiere launch in Vegas next weekend? Synchronized deployment from coast to coast in front of millions on a Saturday night. Total domination, game over, mic drop, boom. Love it, okay? This is actually something that I thought about when I started this channel, because Saitama is truly a community token. Now, we do have a development team, and they are moving it along, but they don't own the token. The community owns the token, right? Every person who holds Saitama is a member of the community, and whatever you're doing to help move it along is your contribution. And I actually thought, what if we took up a collection of the community, or in my case, the Stacker community, and we tried to buy a billboard in Times Square, Well, somebody apparently is doing that. So I want to see how that goes down. There aren't a lot of details here. Perhaps Russell has already done or will do in a live stream with somebody, a Q&A and answer this for us. But that would be incredible. I've been in Times Square. It's a lot of lights. It's a beautiful display. And it would be really, really cool to have that kind of exposure and really just to put our foot in the ring and say, hey, we're here. This is, I mean, that's the biggest stage in America, New York City, Times Square, and we're front and center. That would be fantastic. Hoping to see that. All right, I'm going to show my reflections really quick. Now, somebody did say, and it's a fair statement, like, Dean, the reflections aren't that big of a deal for those of us who are later to the project than you were, because I was able to buy a pretty large quantity of tokens with a lower dollar value. So people buying in now, you're not seeing these kind of daily increases. So in the last 24 hours, I received 144 million Saitama tokens. Okay, since August 31st, I've received 15,447 million tokens. 15,447 million. It's a fair point. Okay, I understand. Yeah, if you're later to the game or you're not investing large quantities, this may not feel like it's adding up to much, but as the price of this increases and as you hold over time, your token increase will also build and can become something. If we looked at the price when I bought this, if we were to put that price in, which basically was, you know, a couple of more zeros here, hey, mine would be worth $14 right now at the original price that I bought in. But because we've been burning some zeros, mine has increased in value to where it's now worth about $1,400 US. So yours will do similarly. Yes, I acknowledge you're not getting the large quantities of tokens unless your bag is larger. But it's something while you wait, and it's a little bit of good news every day. So I still like the reflections, and but I acknowledge if you're not getting reflections in Bitmart, but you can 2x your value of your coin by just purchasing and the dev team's doing what they're doing and the coin's still building, the community's getting larger. That's a better return than you're ever going to get in the reflections. Okay, this is a pittance compared to what the value of my token increase has been. So, but it's still something I love because it's a daily good thing. You know, you don't see that every day. We don't get it every day. All right. Last thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you a little commercial. Okay. So I have the Coinbase wallet. And I also have Coinbase app. Okay. Coinbase is the central exchange. Yesterday in the video, we talked about Russell saying 150,000 holders is what it takes to get listed in Coinbase. Now they have other requirements. I'm not saying that they're listing it, but it is a nice exchange and it has a lot of value aside from just buying and selling tokens. Okay. Let me show you what some of those are. Okay. So inside the Coinbase wallet, they have these lessons you can do. They're little learning and getting paid lessons. So this is Bounce token. You can watch 3 1-minute videos and you get free Bounce token. I've had this app now for over a year and I've received about $50 in free cryptocurrency. Okay. Now you also, when I invite you to Coinbase, I get paid $10 if you sign up, and you also get $10 in Bitcoin when you sign up and you deposit some money. Okay. But you'll get free tokens whether you deposit any money or not by watching short videos. And it teaches you about cryptocurrency. It teaches you about how these different coins work and what different types of use cases are available for the different types of coin. They also have an education section where you can go in and you can learn about cryptocurrency. They talk about the DeFi space. What's blockchain? What's Dogecoin? You know, what's going on with taxes? What is an ETF? Okay, there's things in there that bring value aside from just buying and selling the tokens that are listed. Okay, but I can tell you this: if Saitama gets listed on Coinbase, I mean, if I'm not using Saitamask wallet, I might use Coinbase wallet because while it is possible that they can get hacked and that you could lose some coin, they keep their tokens in hard wallets. So like 99% of the tokens that are in there are not subject to getting hacked because they're storing them in hard wallets. So when you interact, they're pulling stuff out of hard wallets to allow you to trade and putting it back in for security. So I'm going to put a link in the description. If you would like to get the Coinbase app for yourself, get some free cryptocurrency, and both of us earn a little bit, thumbs up for all of us. Hey friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you very much for participating in my content. And I wish you a very amazing day till tomorrow. Let's get back together. We will watch our Saitama stacks grow together.